At the moment, the Indian landing on the moon is a favorite topic amongst Flerfs. The moon landings are a favorite topics from the Flerfs, and now India have managed to land on the far side of the moon, and many Flerfs makes videos about it. I'm using Eric Debung's latest video like as an example of this. Let's start that dumpster fire.
Last week, the Indian Space Agency allegedly landed an unmanned spacecraft and rolled out a rover onto the south pole of the moon. As usual, however, nearly 99% of the footage shown of this groundbreaking event was clear, obvious, and very poor CGI.
Of course it wasn't real footage, and no one have claimed that, but Flerfs like Eric Debung don't understand the reason.
Why do you suppose NASA, Roscosmos, the Chinese, Indian, and all other world space agencies spend money creating and airtime broadcasting all these computer graphic animations of their expeditions rather than showing us actual video footage?
So he is really this stupid that he don't understand why. First of all, what would film the landing on the pool on the backside of the moon? You need a camera to film that basic knowledge. But what camera would film this landing? Then you had to place a camera first before you landed the spacecraft. You don't need to be a genius to understand that. And secondly, to send signals from the backside of the moon, you need a satellite that will broadcast it to Earth, because the signals from the backside of the moon are blocked by the moon to reach Earth.
How difficult would it be to have a few cameras on these crafts permanently recording different angles of the entire flight for us?
And why would they do that? To convince some fools like Eric Debung and some other flat earthers that space is real. They would only say it's fake CGI and so on. Why waste money on trying to convince a few fools around the globe?
They allegedly succeeded in having a live telephone conversation between Nixon and astronauts on the moon, broadcast on television over 50 years ago.
That's a favorite telephone call among flat earthers, but they don't understand how it was made. The telephone was connected to a radio transmitter, and that broadcast the call to the spacecraft. That's an old technique. If you look at ships before the satellite phones, they used radio, and they called up a maritime radio station at land, then was then connected to the phone lines, so they could make phone calls, for instance, to order more supply to be delivered in the next port.
But with half a century of technological advancement, we still cannot receive live video from these rockets after only a couple minutes of ascent. They always change from live video for the first couple minutes to nothing but CGI for the rest of the journey. Look at these ridiculous cartoon animations and ask yourself, why can't the public just watch the actual live video of the entire journey?
I understand that this is hard for a flat earther to understand. Who would take those images from the outside on the spacecraft on the moon lander? Who? Which camera? Where would we place it? Oh dear, how stupid can a human being be? Obviously, there are no limits when it comes to Eric Dubay and the rest of the Flerf fools.
Even if only to be recorded and released at a later date, why aren't the public shown unedited video footage from multiple angles of the entire flight duration?
Is he for real? Can't he see the problem with that? Different angles the whole flight. Which cameras? I repeat myself, I know, but this is so damn stupid.
Never once has any space mission in history been so transparent as to show full unedited footage of their whole expedition. Instead, what we always get is what India's space agency has just given us. A bunch of grown men and women fervently yelling and applauding over pre-made cartoons broadcast as live video.
The big problem with that statement is that no one claims it to be live footage.
The still shots we are given from the Chandrayaan-3 are of two varieties. First, we have the overly produced, clearly photoshopped, full-color propaganda pieces, like these, which are shown repeatedly alongside claims of India's successful moon landing, without making it explicitly clear that these images were all created by artists long before the mission even started.
No one claims that those images are real images. These are illustrations, and I don't think it's only Flerfs that believes that someone tries to fool people that this is real color images from the moon.
The second type of still shot we are given are poor quality black and white shots of dirt and a dark background, claimed to be taken on the moon, but are impossible to differentiate from a sandlot or movie set on Earth.
It have nothing to do with quality of the images, because the flat earthers like Eric Dubay never believe any images taken in space, independent on the quality of the images. So this is pure nonsense.
Likewise, the short clips of video footage they tease the public with as being authentic are simply 15-second videos of some lander legs approaching a gray background and the rover rolling down a ramp onto some dirt somewhere. Look at the terrible frame rate and artificial appearance of the supposed moon. What bit of this footage proves that India has actually landed on the moon? What about these clips and images is supposed to silence skeptics and convince critical thinkers that this wasn't filmed here on Earth?
To be honest, this is really quite funny. Eric Dubay thinks he's important, flat earthers are important. The purpose with this mission is not to convince critical thinkers, as he states. It's a scientific expedition. One of the goals is to try to find ice or evidence that it have been water on the moon. It have nothing to do with you, Eric Dubay, and your silly ideas or other flat earthers. The purpose is not to convince you. Therefore, it's not important to show perfect videos, perfect images to the audience. This is so damn stupid. Flat Earth is in no way important. It's not important for governments around the world to convince you as a flat earther that we live on a globe, that you don't believe in science, that you don't believe in a globe. That's your problem. That's not my problem. That's not the government's problems. That's not the space agency's problems. You are not of importance of any type, any place. Flat Earth is a small group of people that believe in fairy tales.
The entire mission cost Indian taxpayers $75 million, which is equivalent to how much it costs to make the Hollywood space movie Independence Day, without ever leaving the Earth. It doesn't take much more than this simple charade to delude the gullible general public. But for those of us who have deeply researched this issue and poked endless holes through the lies of NASA and other space agencies, we know exactly what is going on here.
No, you haven't, Eric, and that have you proven in this video several times. You don't understand the more basic problem with your demands. Why they can't live stream the whole journey and so on. Why they can't show real videos from when they are landing on the far side of the moon. It basic things that you don't understand, and still you believe that you are debunked space travels. No, you haven't. You are not even close. You have never presented any real evidence for your claims. And that goes for all about the flat earth. It's your silly fantasies, and you're trying to fool your audience to believe it.
For those of you who still believe in these Hollywood and Bollywood farces, please do yourself and the world a favor, and watch my banned YouTube video, 20 Proofs NASA Faked the Moon Landings, linked below in the description box.
No thanks, I have already seen it, and it's a bunch of bullshit. Eric's video is not unique in any way. You can find several of those kind of videos from several different flat earthers with the same arguments about this space flight and other space flights. And they haven't shown anything. They always scream CGI, fake and so on. But where are the proofs? Level Earth Observer, for instance, is basing his whole channel on, as he sees it, debunking ISS space travel and so on. But it's pure nonsense. Thank you everyone helping me, helping Ukraine. I'm repeating this in every video, and that's because this is so damn important for me. And it's important for Ukraine. Thank you for the help. That was all for this time. I hope you liked the video. As you know, I will be back soon. Have a nice day. Bye.